headlined by some big names, including that man right there, Jake Brown, making his 24th X Games appearance, Bob.
Yeah, Jake's an inspiration, man. It's just so amazing to see him out there. Look at that 540. I mean, he's just always ready to go off. He actually has a good time on the 70, so.
And of course, no stranger to this stage, Italo Penarubia, who's still in search of that first X Games medal here in his 7th appearance.
Yeah, Italo is a strong skateboarder, all-around guy, great in the park, great on the Mega, vert. I mean, he skates it all, so.
So again, this is just elimination. 10 skateboarders only getting 4 runs each. The best single score counts. And Bob, it's cutthroat out here today in Shanghai. Top 3 will be advancing to the final.
Yeah, that's a tough cut. You know, you got to really put it out there. I was talking to Italo earlier. He's just like, you know, what do I do? I'm like, you got to go for it, man. There's no hold back.
Yeah, so
got a bunch of new names here, too.
Yeah, we'll get to those. Those are our 10. As you saw, Italo and Jake will be challenged by some familiar names as well as a couple rookies in the field. But, of course, only 3 will be moving on to the final because we've got 5 guys who have already pre-qualified. And there you see the names Mitchie Brusco, Clay Kreiner, Trey Wood, Elliott Sloan, and Ronnie Gomez.
That's a great list to be in on, you know, skating big air. I mean, to have that foot into that finals is a big deal. So these guys worked for it, they earned it, and they're ready to wait it out for tomorrow. And these guys are battling to make it to tomorrow or make it to the next phase.
So without further ado, we kick things off here at X Games Shanghai. Our first rider to drop in here in elimination, Neto Tamenheim, making his X Games debut, turned pro this year, born in Brazil, but now lives in San Diego. And I've been told, Bob, he's been skating your ramp quite a bit.
Yes, he has, and it's, you know, look at him just going for that front side 3, his feet coming off a little bit. Oh my gosh, that is insane. Oh, I'm sorry to laugh, but that was actually pretty funny. I'm glad that actually turned out to be okay, but you know, this is him going to 70 for the first time. Today was the first time, so you know, he's got that Jello competition legs. I don't know what happened there. He landed really well, you know, and he's just wobbled out. That was insane.
You can only go up from here if you're Neto. That's not necessarily probably what he had in mind to kick off his X Games career.
No, it's not, and that's the first run of the contest right there. I mean, you know, you got to want it. That big jump ain't no joke. You know, Neto's just, you know, pretty recent on the board on the Mega to be going off the 70 like that.
Yeah,
so
and you talk about that, his first drop in on the 70 foot.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's going for it. When the guys are saying, like, what do I do? I mean, that's 10 guys cutting 3. You know, what do? You do the best you can, and you try to make it to that next phase.
So there we see 12-year-old Kieffer Wilson out of Australia. He is our youngest competitor, not just in this field, but in the entirety of X Games here in Shanghai.
Little big man. He's tackling the, I don't see anything, any stairs, so he's going off the 70 there.
Wow, our second youngest X Games competitor ever, by the way.
And he really has to pump. Look at that Ollie 3. He has to try to hold it in the wind, but I think he overpumped a little bit, but 68 pounds, I mean, you have to push it. You don't have the weight to give it to you, so that's okay. That's a first go. We'll see him again.
He competed at X Games Sydney late last year. Took an 11th place finish in Big Air, so he's already got an X Games start under his belt.
Mega Ranch, like the new spot out there in Australia, kicking out some names there. Even Toss Papas has been skating, so that was awesome to see.
Yeah, Kieffer's family owns Mega Ranch in Victoria. His father, Peter Wilson, is a pro golfer on the PGA Australia Tour. But we now turn our attention to the other X Games rookie in the field, CJ Titus.
I love seeing the new names. I mean, it's great to see. It used to be just a few of us, and it's awesome to see the field growing. CJ tends to skate the gap a lot. You can see that. That was a kickflip burial 3. High technical trick. Doesn't skate the quarter as much, but it's great to see him out here and trying to put it together. I mean, you know, he's doing it. He's I think this is his first X Games too?
It is. Yeah. We've seen him do that trick over the gap on Mini Mega quite a bit.
Yeah, you can tell he's got the gap figured out.
Yeah.
And it'll take some time to zone in on the quarter, but it takes skating on it. This ramp, you know, you put the time on this ramp.
Well, he's not an X Games rookie, but he is making his Big Air debut here today. Edward Dalmastoy affectionately known as Frenchie.
Frenchie, great skateboarder, awesome to skate with, amazing vert skater. He's got the tricks, and he's also new on the Mega, but he's a guy that I think that can really progress here. He, keeps it together. Let's see what he goes for. Goes for that tail 360. A little excited. People, when you don't skate Mega that much, you tend to overdo things. You have to be quick on the smaller transition, and that timing is takes a little while to get. Slow things down. It's very fast, but you have to slow your movement.
And it should be noted that we're 4 skateboarders in, and we've only got one made trick. Not even a full pull yet. Neto landing something over the gap.
The most exciting run to start it off. It just shows how difficult and how intense. Leo had a hard time yesterday. He wasn't feeling so well, but he's feeling. Oh, that kickflip 3, he almost put that together.
So Ruiz not able to put it down on his first run. And it should be noted also, Bob, that we were delayed.
Yes.
Wind has played a factor all day, and for the fans watching at home, curious how dangerous wind can be.
It can be dangerous or it can be annoying. In this case, it's been annoying because it's been changing directions and speeds. You see Leo there, he just came up a little short, so that made him kind of jump off his board, but the kickflip 3 was perfect. Hope he gets a run together here. And Leo has the keys to the Mega Ramp, at my house, so people want to skate, they tend, when I'm out of town, they call Leo.
That's rare company.
Yes, and they've been putting the sessions together, so you see progress there. And Justin's one of the guys who's coming up here, and he's always skating out there. And he's got a smooth
Rivera.
style. Yeah, Justin's already not so much a rookie anymore. He's been riding with us and starting off switch.
It's the 3rd appearance for the 22-year-old.
Switch Taylor coming in forward, slowing down that 5 really. Oh, there he is. And there's our full pull for the elimination here, and that's it.
See
he
that
gets
side.
a score.
Yeah, the amplitude off that quarter pop was
and he's been overspinning that 5 like all day long, and I think this might be the first 5 off the 70 here that he's done, and he just slowed it down and made it. Look at that, clean, starts off, grab. I mean, that was textbook right there. Really good 540 by Justin, smooth style. He can definitely add up. I know he has a better gap trick, so I mean, he's got a nice run under his belt. That's first run. That's how you want to be.
72.66. So the bar officially
They're
is
holding
set.
back. But
Justin Rivera
yeah.
taking over the top spot.
Hold back on the scores, not so much on the skating, but that's smart.
Beaver Fleming making his 2nd X Games appearance. There's this fierceness that comes with riding this because you have to respect the beast that is this ramp. But I don't know that anybody smiles more in big air than Beaver Fleming.
He's a happy guy, and you want to be smiling even if you're scared. You want to get the juices right. Look at that backflip. Oh, and he decks it. I mean, that's like, he's got that dialed. Nice 540. Well, there it is. You got one run in from Justin, and then now he's got the backflip. He's excited. He should be. I would be. That's no slam. Got a run in. Look at that. He's got a side flip going on here, which is really nice. He does those in his sleep. And he deck checks a little bit there. Oh, that cut his speed off a little bit, so his 5 could have been higher. But that was still really solid run right there.
Took a 10th place finish in Sydney last year on a borrowed board because of his luggage got lost on his way to Australia.
Well, he's that kind of guy. Look, he doesn't even know where to cheer to.
He's looking for somebody.
He wants to high five something.
Embrace me.
I'd high five the ramp, dude.
67.33, good enough for
Yeah, see, they held it back a little bit. That basically was, 2 540 with the same grab, higher on Justin's side, and then the gap was a backflip and a switch trick, so I think that's fair.
So here's Evan Doherty making his 3rd X Games appearance, 16 years young.
Evan's been skating at my house as well, and progressing. I mean, it's great to see more guys. See dropping in switch here off the 50. He chose the 50 to go to. Switch backside ollie, nice and clean. Right into a mute 5. Yeah, get a run in. That's good.
Yeah, walk in the park, you might think, but something about getting your feet under you on a first run in elimination. As you said at the top, you got to go for it. But when you look how many skaters 8 into this elimination, and we've only got 2 clean runs, nothing wrong with putting something down that you feel good about.
Yeah, and on the Mega, it's all about working your mental game, you know, and I think if Evan needs to do this to go off the 70, then that's, you know, more power to him, because now he's got a clean run. He knows how it feels. I don't know where they're going to put him, because that was off the 50, but that's a combo made.
Again, top 3 moving on to the final. Doherty inevitably will move into that 3, a 64. But
yeah, see, I mean, that's not too far off from Beaver's 67, so I don't know where the thought process was there, because Beaver was off to 70. But you know, maybe that's that switch backside ollie, no grab over the gap, and getting tech. Rewarding tech is great. We saw Mitchie win a gold off the 50, but I think that's changed the game a little bit. People are going for the tech on the lower side. There's Jake Brown.
6 medals in his X Games career.
Oh, the backside ollie just took, oh man. See, Jake was the first one to do a backside ollie 360 on the gap back in Mexico City. As Danny Way sits down behind us here, it's hard not to mention he's coming. And you know, and now you see the ollie 3s go down. And, you know, Jake's a pioneer, so he'll get a run. He's got 3 more.
So we turn our attention now to Italo Penarrubia, 28 years old, out of Brazil, making his 7th X Games appearance. But as we said, we know he's got the talent. We've seen him. We've seen the height off of the quarter pipe throughout his career, but yet to find the X Games podium.
Yeah, Italo's a wild man. I love skating with him, but it's one of those all or nothing guys. And you know, let's see what he goes for that. Oh yes, nice ollie 360, low lander. That was really out there. Going for the verify.
Oh,
yeah,
he just can't bring it around.
He's going for the all out. I mean, that's it. That's the way to go. But that ollie 3, they replay it here. You'll see how low he lands. Pumped a little too much, or the wind blew him that way. But look at, everything's looking good here, but look at how far he goes. It's like halfway down the landing, it seems like. Oh, look, almost, yeah, that was pretty low lander. And then something happened there.
And
a little bit of a misgrab.
I hope fans don't forget, although outdoors in Sydney last year, the last 2 years, 3 years, we've been under a roof at X Games Minneapolis. They forget the difference of skating outside on this ramp.
Yes, a lot more consistency when you're indoors. But, you know, we deal with this. I mean, when we skate, you know, my house, it's always windy in different ways.
We're just getting started here at X Games Shanghai. We're in the midst of run number 2, Skateboard Big Air Elimination. Welcome back to X Games Shanghai. It's day one, and we kick off our action here with Skateboard Big Air Eliminations. We're getting ready to kick off run number 2. Got a couple of goats in the booth, Bob Burnquist and the legend, Danny Way, joining us, the pioneer of this very event. Run 1 officially wrapping up as we get ready for run 2 here in our 4-run format. But Danny, thanks so much for making the time, man.
Oh, man. Excited. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I have to ask you, 2004 was the first year that this was contested at X Games. This really was your brainchild, something that you and Bob really brought to the masses. Now to see it here in 2019 on another continent, really kicking off the action here, it's got to be very gratifying for you.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole goal. Bringing it to X Games was, like hoping that it could survive and enough guys could adapt and learn how to skate it. And it's amazing, with the help of Jake and Bob, we've, been able to, get a bunch of kids motivated to learn how to skate. Mega.
Like this young man right here, Neto Tamenheim, who was briefly holding first place with the gnarliest run to kick things off.
Well, that's got to be on his head. I mean, yeah, the board came off, and he really wants that, but you got to be thinking about what just happened on the quarter pipe on your first run. So that holds you back a little bit. You got to work that off a little bit, get that hard pump.
The mentality, having both of you guys here with a bad slam or a fall, sometimes you're like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'd rather do it early. But if you're relatively new to this event, sometimes that mentally is a hurdle for you that you might not be able to get over.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a hurdle
no matter what.
For sure.
There's little man,
Kieffer
big man.
12 years old.
Let's get that ollie 3. Look at that. Now he kept it in there. Nice ollie 3. Solid. Right into a mute 5. Beautifully done. Clean. Upside down. The 68 pounds held him back a little bit on the height, but I mean, that's only going to get better with time.
He's got his own ramp down there in Australia.
Yeah. So, it's.
Have you guys been down to that ramp?
I have not. I got to go check that out. I have not seen that yet. Look at that. That was nice, proper.
Correct.
Held together.
Solid landing.
Yeah. And then here. So you see, he's going just as high as Evan going off the 50, and that's due to his weight, not to anything else. But that was well executed there, upside down through 5.
We talk about it being a windy day. This kid's 68 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
You need to put ankle weights in a weight jacket on him. Send him off to 7.
Totally. That was awesome. That's, going off the big jump like that young, I don't know, I can't think of doing that when I was 12.
Did you guys ever envision this being a reality, that a 12-year-old kid would be out here competing on this stage when you brought it?
Hey, you don't think of that stuff because even the full-grown men were having a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I want to think about as we're trying to struggle through this is think that there's going to be an 11 or 12-year-old kid on our tail.
And then they did, and then all it takes is to see people do it, and kids just kind of go, okay, then I'm going to do that too.
We've seen eras of it, whether it's Jagger, Trey, Mitchie Brusco.
And we'll keep seeing it.
Yep.
And here's CJ's second run, first X Games appearance. Let's see if he gets that kickflip varial. Kickflip varial Indy, a little over rotate. See, that's what I mean on, this is a bigger gap, so you have to slow your spin. There's a lot going on that trick there. He does the kickflip varial really well, but he just goes for the full 360 spin too quick. You can tell he has it, man. I think he's got 4 runs there. He's got 2 there, so 2 more.
So here's Edouard Damastoy out of Bordeaux, France, trying to put a run down.
Frenchie has frontside 5s on the quarter, so
tail grab.
If he puts it together here, if he gets at least across the gap, I don't know if he's going to hold back or what he's going to do. If I was him, I'd go frontside 5. No one's doing it, and you want to set yourself apart. So let's see what Frenchie chooses. Goes for the Indy 7.
He's all in, dude, on the first.
He's all in. He bailed the tail 3, so he's like, well, if I'm going to bail, let me just go for 7s, and then that doesn't work, and then now you're thinking, should I go back to the tail 3? I mean, and then it's like, okay, if you don't have a set strategy before you step in,
it can be always evolving depending. I mean, you might have your strategy, but if you don't come through on one of those runs, you got to be like, well, what's next? Do I go conservative and just get some on the board, or do I go all out? Somebody else might go all out.
You both skated every discipline here at X Games. Is there an event where you look less
Wow.
at the rest of the competitors?
Wow, nice.
Oh, and he brings it around.
He does it. I really hope he makes this run. Nice, Leo. All right, man.
Wow, what
Yeah.
a run for Ruiz.
So going tech, feeling really sick yesterday, pulling together to be able to put his combo. I mean, I'm proud of Leo. He wasn't feeling great at all, and here he is with the kickflip back 3. Nice tech. Didn't deck check this time, pumped a little more. And then his kickflip backside air here, all over the place. Yeah. Good for Leo. That's, you know, let's see what the judges think, but he should be stoked on putting a tech run together.
Yeah, flipping your board in the wind is not easy either, and it's
Yeah.
a big gamble to be flicking the board anywhere off your feet, having these gusts of wind coming from all angles.
Yeah, they might reward him if no one else did anything from the 7. Well, maybe Kieffer has something above him there. Let's see what they do. But I mean, he's stoked.
Judges?
He was thinking he wasn't even going to skate. He wouldn't feel so well.
Yeah,
So
taking their time is 60.66, so not enough to crack that top 3. Again, only 3 will be moving on to the
That's it.
final. So at the moment, Wilson holding on to that 65. That is the bubble spot at the moment. But we turn our attention now to our current leader, Justin Rivera, who looked very comfortable on his first run.
So I don't know what I would do if I was Justin right now. He's got a really good run to make better, but I mean, if he's that high up, you know, should he throw it now or leave it for tomorrow? He's throwing it now. So he's going for that switch backside ollie, late shove it, and he grabs it again. He does that really well. So he's going for that.
Right,
So-
and he can afford to do it. It's an enviable spot to be, especially in eliminations, to be in that top spot right
Yeah, and in some way, you're already practicing for the next.
now. Good point.
You know, if he's sitting in first, you've been testing things out for the next
Yep.
phase.
So here's Beaver Fleming sitting in the top 3 at that second place, 67.33.
The happiest man on the Mega.
No question.
Got the backflip.
Yeah, he's got a couple of wild ones, and he might. Oh, look at that! He's got the 360 with the body and keeping the board in place. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, it was
Jump
like
off your board, spin
body
360, and
burial.
he spun a frontside 360. He grabs the board again. I think he holds slob for a second.
But here's
Let's
Evan
go get
Doherty,
creative is awesome.
who put down
Well,
a
Evan's still-
safety run of sorts, but
Yeah,
what
and
else
he's still
does he have,
down
Bob?
there, so I don't know. Maybe he's, you know, I'd be scared of the 72 or the big jump. Oh, okay, he's going for the what Leo just did, which is, you know, it's tech, but if someone's already done it, I don't know. Maybe he's stoked he landed a run, and you know, let's just go through the motions here. 7 doing the kickflip, melon 3, which is what we saw Leo.
Got it.
Yeah, he caught it. That's a weird trick.
He over-rotated his body a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
You tend to do that a lot. You know, Mega has a unique way of it's very fast and dramatic, but you have to be very subtle with body movement. So
Well, there we see a member of the original Big Air Club, along with the 2 of you back in 2004 in Los Angeles, Jake Brown.
biggest
Trying to get his
inspiration,
first
man. Jake
medal
Brown, get your ollie 3.
since
Oh, he went for the
2013.
backflip. All right, that was nice. Got a little tweak in there. Let's get he was popping out a little too much. Come on, Jake. Oh, the low lander. He was having a hard time in practice.
Jake.
Oh, that was good too. That backflip was nice. Had a little tweak in it. Look at this.
Yeah,
He does them clean. I really like the way Jake does backflip. Right here, does a little tweak. Boom, little mini tweak here to hold it solid. And, you know, this was it. And then a little bit too much of a snap. You saw it there. He knows he's going to land really low. Look at this. 1, 2. I mean, that's more than halfway down. So you don't want to be trying to put that one down. That could be a really harsh slam.
Yeah, Jake, of course,
Jake
one of
knows.
the biggest slams maybe between
Jake likes
himself
skateboarding.
and you.
He likes to get ejected off the lip, as
Yeah.
you see right there. I mean,
Some of the craziest slams we've ever seen in this contest. Jake Brown at 44 still putting it down, but now it's time for Italo Penarubia's second run, trying to knock out that 34.33.
Italo's going to get this varial 5. He wants to run, and I mean he's got better tricks to put in there, but he's got to get a run in. So let's see what he chooses to do. Yep, he goes for the ollie 3. Nice clean. He has that one in the sleep. Varial 5. Come on, there you go. He's got a clean, solid varial 5.
Yeah, that was like a last second throwdown too. Like it was a little bit behind him, and then just boom.
Is that the technique? I mean, I don't do those on Mega like that, but I seen, you're the first one I seen do that trick, and it seems like you got to wait until you barrel. I mean,
yeah, it's like you don't want, like, you want to take off and grab, like a backsetter in front of your front foot. And you hang out for a second.
See, he goes for the melon. Like he actually was melon 5 there for a while, and then spun.
Because if you try and spin it too quick, you're gambling the grab, and as you can see earlier,
he was solid on that.
But he locked in his grab and made sure that he had that thing in his hand, and then he decided to spin the board. But that
was the smart,
that's the way to do
controlled way to do it.
Jumping all the way up into first place, no doubt about it, Italo Penarrubia.
So good, well deserved.
We're halfway through eliminations, and it's Italo Penarrubia leading the way. Who's moving on the final? We find out after this.
The world's biggest action sports festival returns to the land of 10,000 lakes. X Games Minneapolis, August 1st through 4th. Get your tickets now at xgames.com/tickets.
From Minneapolis to Shanghai, X Games is worldwide. Welcome back to Skateboard Big Air Elimination. Brandon Graham alongside the two legends, Bob Burnquist and Danny Way. What a treat here in the booth today, gentlemen. And Italo Penarrubia, we knew he had that run in him, Bob and Danny, and he just put that down and gave himself a comfortable lead midway through eliminations.
Yeah, that was solid.
Super solid.
You can't get any better than that. And you have 4 runs. I'm glad he did it. That was his 3rd run?
Second run.
Second run. So now he's got room, and he's got tricks. I think he should test out his next phase because he's in. I mean, he's like 5 points, above Justin there.
Yeah,
that was a solid run. He's in there.
Doesn't look like there's going to be something that I've seen so far that would one up that.
Yeah.
So here's Neto Tamenheim, run 3
Neto's got a
4.
5 on the quarter. I mean, he wobbled out with the jello legs, but I think he wants it. He's got a wild technique there. Oh, come on. Oh, my gosh. Look at that 540.
Flat.
He's bringing the Lortha style back with the 5 there, the upside down.
Front flip.
Yeah, into a front flip in.
Yeah.
And he was so wild. I mean, look, it is hard to keep the board on a frontside 3, and he jumps off, and he's like, okay, well, whatever. Let me just get back on. And here he's moving around like crazy. He's on the other side of the ramp. Boom, back 5. He's just happy he didn't repeat the first run thing there. So.
And how about, guys, just from a visibility perspective, they've been practicing all day. The sun now, as you can see, is starting to set a little bit. How much is that factoring in as we go throughout this contest?
Depends on the position there. I was skating earlier. I didn't feel like the sun was in the way there. But, if it's in your face, it's going to be hard.
There's a
if it's just getting dark, then it's not that big of a deal. But
can see there's a shadow. You know, I mean, it's,
Right, yeah, there's some.
it's all about perception and speed. You know.
Oh, that Ollie 3 is just so nice. Come on now, what you going for? Oh, he wanted a little bit more height. You know, that's his run.
Yeah, he definitely wants height. He's 4'5", Bob.
Yeah,
he'll take
wants,
whatever he can get.
He wants that. He's 68 pounds.
Kieffer
I
Wilson.
like his Ollie 3. He's got great style. He kind of scoops his leg up there first, and then keeps it under his feet.
He's going to be really good in the next
Solid.
few years, dude.
You see, I mean, that's another run put together. I mean, you know, consistency. You can tell if he wants a 540, he gets it.
In 6th grade, skating at his second ever X Games. Took 11th place back at X Games Sydney last year. A 66, just keeping him out of the top 3. He'll get one more attempt.
Solid showing for his first X Games. That's some great scores. Guys are all great skateboarders, and he's up there in the mix, going off the big side and putting combos.
Here's
now
CJ
CJ
Titus.
needs his. If he underspins a little more, he gets it. Having a hard time. You know, when you go tech, that could happen. You can have 3 runs and not have a trick in. It starts getting, pressure starts mounting.
Yeah, that win too. It's like these guys definitely gambling with that win. It's hard to get a consistent flick on the flip tricks without with that variable.
Yeah, I think he's, you know, it's 4 runs, so his strategy, it looks like, is give me all the runs I need to go tech. You know, instead of just going for a 3, he wants that.
So here's Edward Damastoy.
He needs a run. What is he going to choose to do? Going for the 7 again. Oh man, it's a good trick. It's a very tough to get consistent with it. I think he just recently started spinning them. He's a very recent mega skateboarder, but I feel like as he puts the time in, I think he has that style and vibe to get better and better.
Yeah, he's only been skating this ramp not even a year.
Yeah,
I think
we'll see more of him, and he's a great guy to skate with too. Happy guy. And Leo's got his Leo Ruiz got his run. So let's see. Oh yeah, he's going for the body varial ollie. He's got that trick, so that's cool.
He picked up his board a little bit right there.
Yeah. He let the technique flow, you know, let his board down a little bit.
The board's like a wing, man.
Yeah.
So if it gets caught with the wind at the right angle, it just like you ripped out of the sky underneath your feet.
You think you have it, and then you don't.
So here's Justin Rivera sitting in 2nd place. Itala besting him on his last attempt. Justin's got to feel pretty good, but what has he got, Bob, to maybe
his
jump
gap
up?
here, he has this trick here. If I goes for what I think. Yeah, look at that. Okay, he grabbed his board, but he's going for the switch backside ollie late shove it.
That's a burn
no grab,
maneuver, right?
Yeah, he's going for the no grab.
that's an OG original,
that's
right?
an OG, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, that's a video part maneuver. And
yeah,
he's throwing in his run, so
he got
pretty close. He got close there, and I think that he only grabbed because you know it kind of went away from him. And if you're skating in a contest, you want to land something. So
Beaver Fleming currently in that top 3. Again, only 3 will be moving on to the final. Holding on to that 67.33. Love to give himself a little bit more breathing room. Can he do it here on his third attempt?
He's going to get creative. If I know Beaver, he wants to get wild. And check this out. On. Yeah, there's the win.
You just can't get away from the win factor, man. That's, you know, unless you go.
And that's a trick he does pretty consistently. You know, I mean, that's the 2nd time that his board looked right here.
Look at it, just got
and
caught.
Then caught right there and then gone for a second.
It's like, yeah, you got the physics on that, man. It's like, it's really precise movements, dude, to get that thing to not get picked off in the air.
Yeah, and it's subtle. I mean, you have to adjust for the wind. Okay, what is kickflip melon 3 is what Evan tried on his last one. So let's see. Kickflip melon 3. He wants that.
And the gap, conditions over the gap, continuing to give skaters the issues.
Well, I mean, when you have consistent, you know, wins, then you see more makes. And when it's like this, You can still get some makes in there, but it is harder to put together. So, you know, we got to deal with it, different wind situations, and adapt. But I want to see this guy put a run together.
For sure, yeah.
And he works hard.
Jake had a good finish at X Games Sydney, 5th place. Last
Awesome.
time he got on the podium, though, back in 2013.
Nice backflip. Come on, Jake.
Oh,
So there's run of 3 going away. He's going to have to put it together in his last
A
run.
lot of
Jake's
pressure.
notorious for coming through when you least expected,
That
though.
is very true.
Yeah, he
Jake.
does. There's no putting Jake down until the contest is over.
Yeah.
That looked a little off there, so Jake's going to have to throw that one away.
So rounding out our group, our current leader, Itala Penarubia, sitting in a really good spot. Does he just...
He gets wild. Let's see if he's going to test out his next phase trick.
Could there be a
'Cause he's
preview in store for what we
I
could see
think
at the
so.
final?
I think you're going to see him try it here just for the sake of trying it. Let's see if Italo tries to work something different. Ollie 360, shove it. So yeah, he's fishing.
He's just playing around.
Yeah.
He's pretty, I think, confident that he's not going to get bumped off the first
Yeah,
place
that's
podium here.
Well, Danny, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
through the
man,
booth,
thank you
man.
for
It is
having
an
me in
absolute privilege to really have both of you in here together, just talking about an event that you pioneered and made famous, and a lot of gold medals between the two of you on this. But man, enjoy this.
Hey, absolutely.
4th and final attempts here from X Games Shanghai. After this, Italo Penarubia still leading the way. Fourth and final attempt time here at Skateboard Big Air Elimination. Only 3 will be moving on to the Big Air final. Right now, Italo Penarubia, Justin Rivera, and Beaver Fleming are sitting in those spots. But there are still some big names on the outside looking in, Bob.
Yeah, and looking at it here, Kieffer was the only one to put a run down on the 3rd run, so we're having some inconsistency issues here. And we're hoping to see some makes here, and I think that Neto wants to put something down here. He's been working hard. This is his first X Games, and he had a good scare in the first run. He put it back together. I mean, you get a slam like that and come back at it. It ain't easy. So he's going for the frontside 3 again. The no footer. Neto does not let it go that easy. My kind of guy.
Well, at a certain point, Bob, when you realize where you're at in the standings, you've yet to put down a full run. You can't fault somebody for going broke.
No, I mean, that's it.
That's what it boils down to.
You want to be in there, so you have to go all out. You know, there's no reason not to.
So we turn our attention now to Kieffer Wilson, who's sitting just on the outside, .34 behind Beaver Fleming. for that third spot. Really impressive. As you said, the only guy to actually put down a run on the third attempt.
He's put down 2 runs now. Let's see what he wants here. Ollie 3, very nice. Wow, getting out of axis there, but still going for the body parallel 5. All right, you know, that's it. You want to make it better than the last, and that was great. That Ollie 360 was wild, all over the place, and there was no giving up on his side. Look at this. Looks like it's gonna get weird, and then he adjusts his body, puts it down, wheels it in, and then goes for the mute, which is what he was doing, and then boom, switch it around. Another D-way trick right there.
Again, this young man is in 6th grade. Our youngest competitor at all of X Games Shanghai. Kieffer Wilson will not be moving on to the finals, but I think a real preview of what's to come, because I think Kieffer is going to be a force for years to come on the X Games stage.
Yes, he is. That young, skating that fast, that consistent. You know, that's it.
So here's CJ Titus.
Last run with a tech trick. Really hope he pulls this off. Fiorenti, oh! Had the varial flipped in, and then the spin was a little too fast, and it looks like he was going just a little too slow. So there's a lot of adjustments there. There's a kick flip, there's a varial, there's a 360, and then you got to make sure you make it all the way across. He had the varial 3, kick flip, he got caught right there. Let's see, I see what happened. And he was a little short. That was, oh, that's too bad he didn't put a run together. But another new name, I think we'll see, we'll keep seeing.
Edward Domastoy has not put a run together yet as well. He's got to put it all down here on his 4th and final attempt if he wants to get into that finals group.
Oh yes, he got the Indy 7 with the front 5. That could do something here. Let's see if he pulls it. Oh man, that is too bad. That was a really good combo that could have put him up
that
there.
Was really strong over the gap.
I was going to say,
as
if
we
he
take
puts
another look.
the Indy 7, look at it here, Indy 720, tough trick. He just wheels it in because it's his last run, and he was a little off there.
Where does it fall apart, Bob?
I think that, you know, he just got overexcited there, but the front 5 is not an easy trick on the quarter, and he hasn't. Yeah, he was overspun. You know, got excited, and that's. It's hard to cool down, or I mean, or kind of calm down, you know, when you're going that fast. He just landed at Indy 7, so his heart's beating, and he overspun that front 5, and that's too bad.
So here's Leo Ruiz, one of 2 skaters left, or 3, excuse me, that can potentially invade that top 3.
He's got his board backwards, so he's doing that ollie body varial 5. Oh, he tried to flip it. Well, that's great for Leo. He put a run together. Wasn't feeling good, wasn't going to skate, pushed through, put a run in, made it happen in Shanghai.
So here's Justin Rivera. He's sitting in 2nd place. Still a couple of guys who could potentially poke him out. Itala Penarubia, the only guy who's actually safe at the moment.
Yeah, Justin, let's see if he actually goes for it. I mean, there's nothing else really. He's got to keep trying this. Look at that. Well executed there, just a little bit too much. I think the thing is like, you know, when we're skating my house, we skate the 50-foot mostly. So he's got that trick down on the 50, but when you go off the 70, you got a lot more time. See how he overspun there?
Right.
And, you know, when you're going that far, you have to really slow that spin. And yeah, it was almost, Justin. But you're in 2nd. Great job.
So Beaver Fleming holding on to that 3rd spot. Can he give himself just a little bit more room and jump up his score, maybe even catch Rivera for that 2nd place?
Well, that was 2 bales of the same thing, so he might adjust. He went for something else. The ball grab. A varial backflip to ball grab. If he landed that, I mean, that definitely knew. But
yeah, he made it. He made it
this.
Interesting.
Oh, he was going for that hand
Grabs
flip
that
varial,
truck
ball
and is
grab.
able to almost bring it around.
Right on. Well, he's sitting in 3rd.
Well, yeah,
he's
now
hoping that
he's got 2 guys that could potentially bump him, including this young man, 16-year-old Evan Doherty. He's sitting in 5th place.
Well, Evan would need to be going off the big side there to kind of threaten Beaver. So I don't know if he's, it really depends on how techy goes here, but let's see what Evan has. He's going for that kickflip melon 3. I think he just wants to do that for him and get that down, because as far as scores, that was going to be tough.
So Evan will not be moving on, and with that we know that Itala and Justin Rivera are guaranteed spots in the final. And it all comes down to Jake Brown. He's sitting in 8th place. Beaver Fleming is holding on to the 3rd spot. He would need to best that 67.33.
Well, Jake's got a great backflip, and I'm hoping he puts it here. There's Jake's backflip, puts it together, nice. And his 5 is clean, so let's hope he doesn't snap. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Oh man, he wanted that. He didn't land as low as the last one, but you can tell he was thinking, okay, how do I not go to the flat? Okay, look at this backflip textbook.
Picture perfect over the gap.
Jake Brown backflip, landed really nice. And then here, he's just trying not to snap as much, and it just upside down, Jake style 540. Love the way he puts it together.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
Jake Brown, unfortunately, will not be moving on to the final. With that, our 3 are set. Itala Penarubia, this is a victory lap. Will he treat it as such or give a preview to the field who have already pre-qualified?
I think he's going for the preview. There's no chill in this guy here. He just wants it all the time. So Italo. Look at that. Oh,
whoa!
Yeah! Nice. Yep, he's testing that one out, and that's a really good trick. So I know he has that without grabbing too, so that was good to see him trying to find something here. Look at it. Ollie 3, late shove it with the stale grab. That was clean. Look at how solid that was. All right, Italo finding tricks, putting it together. Well deserved.
Yeah. Our top-ranked qualifier, Itala Penarubia, it was his day. From the moment he put that run down on attempt number 2, Bob, he left no doubt about it. The field was chasing him. And there you see Itala Penarubia, Justin Rivera, and Beaver Fleming will be moving on to the final, which will be kicking off on Sunday. Actually, we'll be closing out X Games Shanghai. It will be our final event here of the weekend.
Pretty solid elimination here. That was great to see. Just a preview of what was going to happen, what's going to happen here. Finals coming up.
What a day for skateboarding. Wind was playing a little bit of an issue. The sun was setting. We started later than usual, but Beaver Fleming advancing to the final.
Side flip up, kind of deck checking there, and then getting his 5 in, stoked, amped.
And then Justin Rivera really on attempt number 1.
Smooth operator Justin here. Look at this clean 5.
So much height.
Height, solid style. Great to see.
But the man of the day, Itala Penarubia.
With that late varial. A varial 5. Yeah.
So there's a look at our crew who will be moving on to Sunday's final. And when you look at those 3 plus the guys who are already qualified in, we are going to have a heck of a fight on our hands, Bob, come Sunday.
Yes, it always is, and it's always exciting. And these guys are, warriors out here, man. It's no joke skating this ramp, and we just saw a crazy field.
There you take a look at our start list for Sunday. My goodness.
Big hitters.
So much talent. Elliott Sloan needs no introduction. Of course, Mitchie Brusco earning his very first X Games gold last summer at Minneapolis. Joined by those 3. What a kickoff to X Games Shanghai. Congratulations to all of our competitors, but especially to our top 3 moving on in skateboard, big air, Beaver Fleming, Justin Rivera, and Italo Penarubia. Big thanks to Danny Way and Bob Burnquist. I'm Brandon Graham. Stay tuned all weekend for the action here from X Games Shanghai.